start that playlist, and then lie down in Supta Baddha Konasana is how we'll get started. So come all the way down onto your back. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees fall out wide like a book. Let your arms rest wherever is comfortable, down by your sides, up above your head, or one hand resting on your heart and one on your belly. Let your body physically settle onto your mat, grounding into the earth, letting it support your weight. Maybe bring your eyes gently closed, drowning out any distractions, any visual distractions. Begin to notice your breath, your sahaja, automatic, grace-filled breath that keeps you going. And we'll start with a few cleansing breaths together. Breathe in through your nose, fill your lungs with air. Open up your mouth, sigh out. Breathe in. Open up, let it go. Two more like that, fill with breath. Pause at the top, notice the space in between, feel full and expansive. Open your mouth, pour the air out. One more, inhale through your nose. Pause, notice the space. Open up, exhale. Bring your lips to touch. Breathe in through your nose. Through your nose, breathe out. A couple more Ujjayi breaths in and out through your nose. Noticing the space at the top of your inhale. And the empty feeling at the bottom of your exhale. Take one more breath in. And breath out. Bring your hands to the outside of your thighs. Pull your knees into your chest. Big squeeze. And plant your feet on the ground, bringing your heels in towards your sit bones. Early bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Plant your hands on the ground. Shoulders and back of your head root into the earth. On an inhale, lift your hips gently, opening up the area on the tops of your thighs, pressing your chest towards your chin. Breathe in. And breathe out. Take one more inhale. Can you lift your hips up a touch higher? And exhale, slowly lower one vertebra at a time. Pause at the bottom. Hug your knees back into your chest. Begin to rock and roll the length of your spine, creating momentum and force, coming all the way to tabletop pose. As you arrive, stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Neutral tabletop here, arrive in stillness. And breathe in, cow pose, dip your belly down, lift your tailbone, lift your gaze. As you exhale, feel the movement of rounding your spine up to the sky, pressing the earth away with your hands. Cat pose. Breathe in for cow, dip your belly down, shine your heart forward. Exhale, moving slowly, pressing the earth away, rounding your spine, gaze in. Continue this cycle of movement. Cow on your inhale. And cat on your exhale, moving to your own breath, adding in any side to side circles, figure eights. making this movement your own and beginning to notice the space between the postures, a fluid motion that gets you from point A to point B. And take 2 more cycles. Re-arrive in stillness, tabletop pose, and walk your fingers to the top of your mat, letting your heart melt down onto the earth, puppy pose. Keeping your sits bones lifted high, and opening up your chest toward the ground. Take a breath in, and a breath out. Slither all the way down onto your belly. Take your right arm out to your right side to a T. Press your left hand into the earth. Lift your body up and over, rolling onto your right side for hinge pose, stretching through your right collarbone, the front part of your shoulder and chest. Use your left hand as leverage to roll your left shoulder on top of your right. Breathe in. Come through center on your breath out. Stretch your left arm all the way out to a T. Press your right hand into the earth. Lift your right hip up and on top of your left. Breathe in. Once more, use your right hand to roll your right shoulder on top of your left. 1 more, inhale. Come back through center, exhale. Passing through a child's pose, just long enough to then lift your hips for downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Taking movement here, being fluid in your motions, noticing those spaces in between. Rolling out any kinks and cracks, noticing the places of tension in your body. Even out both sides and find stillness in downward facing dog. Root your hands into the earth. Create extension in your spine by pressing the earth away. And come up high onto your toes. Lift your sits bones really high. And on your exhale, come into this crouch pose, bending your knees and really pressing your chest toward the earth. Do that again. Straighten out your legs and breathe in. Come up high onto your toes. Exhale, crouch pose, opening up your shoulders, creating space across your chest. 1 more, straighten out your legs, breathe in, come up high onto your toes. Exhale, crouch forward. Downward facing dog, stillness, breathe in. Breathe out. And crawl your hands to the back of your mat, hang in ragdoll pose, take a wide stance, east to west. In your feet and a generous bend in your knees. You can hook opposite elbows, sway from side to side, or maybe catch an interlace behind your low back and press your knuckles to the sky, rinsing out your shoulders, letting the weight of your day roll off of your back. Find stillness in center, heel toe your feet in all the way to touch your hips width and round to standing, stacking 1 vertebra at a time. Arrive in Tadasana, mountain pose. Root your feet into the earth. Sweep your arms up high. Breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Cleansing breath in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Urdhva Hastasana, reach up. Uttanasana, hinge at your hips, fold forward. Halfway lift, bring your hands to your shins and flatten out your spine. Create length from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Exhale, fold forward. 1 more like that. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward. Walk your hands out, high plank pose. Noticing the journey to get there. Setting up your foundation, shoulders over your wrists, heels over the ball mounds of your feet. Press the earth away. Breathe in, knit your ribs together. Stay here, strong as you exhale. Breathe in, shift forward, lower all the way to your belly as 1 line. Tops of your feet come to the earth. Lift your gaze, lift your chest, Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Exhale, tap your nose down. Breathe in, get really light in your hands as you lift your chest and lift your gaze. Exhale, tap your nose, lift your hips high, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come up high onto your toes, step to the top of your mat. Fold. Halfway lift when you get there. Forward fold. Inhale, reach all the way up, rise. Exhale, Uttanasana, bow forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Plant your hands high, plank pose as you exhale. Inhale, shift your shoulders really far out in front of your wrists. And exhale, bend your arms to 90 degrees. Chaturanga Dandasana, hug your elbows in and hover. Upward facing dog, bring the tops of your feet to the mat, lift your chest up. Downward facing dog, send your hips high. Inhale. Exhale. Come up high on your toes, step or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift as you get there. Forward fold. Inhale, reach up, rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, bow forward. Halfway lift. Chaturanga Dandasana, step back and lower or jump back, land with bent arms. Upward facing dog, open up your chest, gaze toward the sky. Downward facing dog, lift your hips high. Breathe in. Let it go. Come up high onto your toes, look forward, step or hop, top of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Urdhva Hastasana, grow tall, reach up. Uttanasana, bow forward. Halfway lift. Chaturanga Dandasana, take your journey. Moving with your breath, noticing the spaces in between, downward facing dog. Breathe in. And breathe out. Come up high onto your toes, look forward. Take your journey to the top of your mat, travel. Half lift. Full forward. Urdhva Hastasana, reach up one more round. Sun A, exhale, bow forward. Feel the spaces. Halfway lift. Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, lift your chest. Adho Mukha Svanasana, lift your hips high. Breath in. Breath out. Come up high onto your toes. Travel to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold. Utkatasana, chair pose. Bend your knees. Sink your hips back. Knit your ribs together and reach your arms up high. Squeeze your inner thighs together, creating strength in your stance. Inhale. Exhale. On your inhale, get light in your left foot. Exhale, step back, high crescent pose. Bend into your right knee. Stack your left heel over the ball of your foot and create energy in the back, in your back leg by lifting the back of your knee toward the sky. Breathe in. Exhale. Inhale as you are. Exhale, cactus your arms, lower your left knee down to a hover. Pinch your shoulder blades together. Breathe in, high crescent lunge. Exhale, cactus and hover. See if you can keep your ribs knitted together. Inhale, high crescent. Exhale, cactus, hover, crack your chest open. Breathe in, high crescent. Flying crescent is your exhale. Hover your chest over your right thigh. Keep squeezing your inner thighs toward your midline. Create stability in your legs. And then pinch your shoulder blades gently together. Reach your arms back. Inhale, sweep your left arm forward. Exhale, ride that around, warrior two. Set up your foundation with a bent right leg. Your right heel intersecting the left arch in your foot. Breathe in. Let your shoulders settle over your hips as you exhale. Inhale, tip this back, peaceful warrior, feeling the journey. Stretch your right side body. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Step your right foot back and lower. Upward facing dog on your inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Take a breath in. And exhale. Come up high onto your toes, look forward, step or hop. Top of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Utkatasana, chair pose. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Breathe in. Knit your ribs together, stay as you exhale. Inhale, pick your right foot up. Exhale, step back, high crescent lunge. Finding your foundation, moving slow to arrive. Squeezing your inner thighs together, creating energy out of your feet, up through your body to your hands. Breathe in. Cactus and hover as you exhale, crack your chest open. Inhale, high crescent pose, re-arrive. Exhale, cactus and hover. Knit your ribs together on this down. Breathe in, rise. Exhale, cactus, hover. Inhale, back, high crescent pose. Exhale, flying crescent, launch forward. Hover your belly over your left thigh. Create integrity in your stance and then see if you can squeeze your belly button to your spine to lift it off of your leg. On your next inhale, sweep your right arm forward. Warrior two, spin, open, arrive. Check your feet, your stance with your left heel to your right inner arch. Breathe in. Settle into the pose as you exhale. And inhale, tip it back, peaceful warrior, feel the journey. Cartwheel down, noticing the space between the poses, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, breath in. Breath out. Inhale, look forward, make your journey, feeling the space. Half lift, forward fold. Utkatasana, chair pose. Breathe in. Get light in your left foot, step it back, high crescent as you exhale. Inhale here. Just one cactus and hover as you exhale. Right into your flying crescent, breathe in. Breathe out. Left arm forward, ride it around, warrior two. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, triangle to the back of your mat. Spin your left toes to face 12 o'clock backward. Bump your right hip all the way back and reach forward with your left hand before letting it settle on your shin. Create space in your right and left side bodies. Reach your right arm up high. Feel the stretch in your left inner thigh and behind your knee. Breathe in. And breathe out. Using the strength of your core, taking the journey all the way back to peaceful triangle, sending your left arm high to the sky. Little bend in your left knee, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Take your left hand down to the earth in front of your left foot. Root your left foot into the earth. Reach your right foot back and stack your right hip on top of your left. Find your stability, your grounding here in your left foot. Inhale as you are. Little Shiva squat as you exhale. Bring your right hand down to the earth. Curtsy your legs, bringing your right knee behind your left. Tap your right toes down. Inhale, open it up, half moon pose. Exhale, Shiva squat, curtsy and tap. One more like that. Inhale, half moon. Exhale, curtsy, tap. Breathe in, re-arrive to half moon pose. Archer warrior is your exhale. Plant your right foot back. Take the journey, make it slow. Noticing the space, the strength it takes to get to each pose. Bend into your right knee, straighten out your left. Pull your right arm back. Breathe in. Warrior two, breathe out. Left knee is bent. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Cartwheel your hands down, Chaturanga Dandasana to the back of your mat. Finding the strength it takes to move between the postures. Downward facing dog, arrive. Inhale, come up high onto your toes, look forward. Travel to the original back of your mat, halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Get light in your right foot, breathe in. Step it back, high crescent as you exhale. One inhale to arrive. Cactus and hover as you exhale. Right into your flying crescent, breathe in. Settle as you exhale. Right arm sweeps forward, open up, warrior two, left knee bends. Star pose, all 10 toes spin to the side. Trikonasana to the front of the mat. Right toes to 12 o'clock, bump your left hip back, reach your right arm forward. Let it settle onto your shin and reach your left arm up high. Root your feet to the earth, create energy all the way up and out of this stance. And on your next inhale, using the strength of your core, making your journey back to peaceful triangle. Little bend in your right knee, half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. Plant your right hand outside of your right foot. Root your right foot into the earth. Lift your left hip on top of your right. Spin open. And breathe in. Little Shiva squat as you exhale. Bring your left hand to the earth, left foot back behind you. Breathe in, half moon pose. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, half moon. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, half moon, stay. Exhale, archer warrior, move slow. Notice the space between. Bend your left knee, straighten out your right. Inhale. Warrior two, exhale, dance forward. Peaceful warrior, tip it back. Cartwheel your hands down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Taking your journey through upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Let it go. Come up high into your toes, look forward. Travel to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. One more round through that, yogis. Breath to movement. Utkatasana, chair pose, arrive. Inhale, get light in your left foot. Step it back, high crescent pose. Breathe in. Cactus and hover as you exhale. Flying crescent, launch forward. Warrior two, exhale, arrive. Star pose, breathe in. Triangle pose, Trikonasana to the back of your mat, left side. Inhale, tip it all the way back, peaceful triangle. Half moon pose as you exhale, launch forward, trust. Breathe in. Shiva squat as you exhale, make this a little dance. Inhale, half moon. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, half moon. Exhale, Shiva. Last time, breathe in, half moon pose. Archer, warrior, step back with your right foot, pull your bow. Warrior two, dance back forward. Breathe in, peaceful warrior. Take your flow, Chaturanga Dandasana as you exhale. Upward facing dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog, hips go high, take a breath in. Exhale, look forward, make your journey top of your mat. Half lift, fold. Utkatasana, chair pose, last time, breathe in. Get light in your right foot, step it back, high crescent. Exhale, cactus and hover. Right into your flying crescent as you exhale. Warrior two, spin open, arrive as you breathe out. Star pose. Triangle to the original front of the mat, back onto your right leg. Breathe in for peaceful triangle, dance back. Half moon pose, launch forward and trust. Breathe in. Shiva squat, exhale. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, squat down. Breathe in, half moon. Exhale, Shiva squat. Half moon pose, arrive on an inhale. Archer, warrior, take it slow as you exhale. Warrior two, dance forward. Peaceful warrior, tip it back, breathe in. Cartwheel down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Make your journey your own. Downward facing dog is where we arrive together. Take a breath in. And exhale. Shift your body forward, high plank pose, arrive. Side plank on your right hand, spin your right blade of your foot down, reach your left arm up high. And if you can, take a tree variation, lifting your left knee. Breathe in. Keeping your left foot where it's at, spin your left hand down onto the earth, side plank on your left side, so inside tree variation here. Breathe in. Kick your left foot over to your right side, fallen star pose, lift your hips up high. Breath in. Downward facing dog. Take both your feet back to the earth. And then high plank pose, other side. Arrive in high plank. Shift onto your left hand for side plank. Tree variation with your legs. Bring your right foot up. Inhale. Spin your right hand down to the earth. Keep your right leg where it's at, inside tree here. Breathe in. Fallen star, kick your right leg out. Lift your hips up high. Open up your chest. Breath in. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Child's pose. Lower your shins to the earth. Sink your hips back to your heels. Take a drink. Take a towel, whatever you need, take a breather. Take a big cleansing breath in through your nose. Open up your mouth, sigh out. One more like that, let some heat go. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then slither all the way onto your belly. 3 variations of floor back bends. Zip your legs together, all 10 toenails on the ground. Bring the palms of your hands to the earth by your sides. Bring your forehead to neutral. And on an inhale, lift your gaze, lift your chest, lift your feet. Locust pose, Salambhasana. Press your hip space into the earth. See if you can squeeze your belly in, lifting your ribs up off of the ground. Zip your legs together, breathe in, lift a little higher. Exhale, lower down right cheek to the earth, rest. Come back through center. This time, option to take a bind behind your low back, with your hands together, or the option that we just took. And breathe in for locust pose, rise up if you've got the bind. Shoot your knuckles back toward your feet. See if you can keep your legs zipped together using the strength of your low back. Inhale. Gently let this go. Exhale, left cheek to the earth. Coming back through center, last floor back bend here. Both of the options we just took are available to you. Or Dhanurasana, bow pose. Kick your heels into your sits bones. Reach for your feet or ankles. And wherever you are, on an inhale, rise up. Press your hips into the earth. Lift everything else. If you've got your feet in floor bow, kick your feet into your hands and pull your hands back into your feet, creating tension to lift you higher. Big inhale. Gently let it go. Don't be a slingshot. And lower. As you exhale, you might windshield wiper your feet. Maybe you kick a guitar like me and make a little noise. Take a moment, take a break. And then come up into a seat. We're gonna take a moment to do Ustrasana, camel pose. We're getting open in our back and in our belly. So come up into a lifted hero's pose. Your shins on the earth. Take your hands to your low back. And inhale, really puff up your chest. Take your gaze up to where the ceiling meets the wall or somewhere up in the sky if you're outside. And on an inhale, press your hips forward. Begin to take your gaze up and back for camel pose. You might reach your hands down toward your heels
But keep pressing your hips forward like there's a wall in front of you. You want to create connection. Wherever you are, take a breath in. And exhale. Tuck your chin in toward your chest. Come back through neutral and gently lower. Virasana Hero's Pose. Take a cleansing breath in through your nose. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Re-arrive. Lift your hips up high. Breathe in, reset. Exhale, let it go. Lift your right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, cheetah pose. Hug your knee to your nose. Pause. Notice the space between the poses, and then step your right foot between your hands. Lower your left knee to the earth. Anjaneyasana, sweep your arms up. Take it slow. Make it a journey. Breathe in, knit your ribs together. Exhale, pour your weight into your left hip flexor. You can take a little bind behind your low back if you like. Right thumb on top. Press your knuckles down to the earth. Keep engagement in your low belly so that you don't create tension in your low back, protecting your muscles. Breathe in. And breathe out. Keeping the bind or letting it go. Tuck your left toes, flying crescent. Breathe in. Breathe out. One-legged Tadasana. Lift your left leg up. Root your right foot into the earth. Eagle pose. Wrap your left leg around your right. Take your arms out to a T. Wrap your left under your right. So keeping your left leg and left arm closest together. Find your stability by rooting your right foot into the earth. And then lifting your chest up out of your pelvis. And your elbows in line with your shoulders. Breathe in. Stay, breathe out. Inhale, rise up one-legged Tadasana. Dancer pose. Kick your left heel in to your left sit bone. Reach around with your left hand and grab your foot. Inhale, stretch your right arm up to the sky. Exhale, dancer pose. Kick your left foot into your hand. Tip your chest gently forward. Staying focused on your right foot connected to the earth. Knit your ribs in together. Breathe in. Gently let your foot go. Keep it lifted as you exhale. OMG, step your left foot to the right side of your mat. Curtsy your legs. Sweep your arms behind you. Breathe in. Twisted OMG as you exhale. Plant your left hand down. Sweep your right arm high. And step back. Easy twist. Left foot to the back of the mat. Left hand stays down. Feeling the twist through your thoracic spine, the middle of your back, keeping your hips level with one another. And on your next inhale, open twisted crescent, rise up. Squeeze your inner thighs toward your midline, create a little more stretching, or a little more twisting through your back. And then stretch your arms out one way, right arm back, left arm forward. Breathe in. Warrior two as you exhale. Inhale, peaceful warrior, transition back. Cartwheel your hands down, lizard lunge. Plant both of your hands inside of your right foot. And we're going to take a variation here, so first lower your left knee. Stay lifted in your hands. Spin onto the blade edge of your right foot. Let your knee fall out to the side a little. I'm going to face the camera just so you can see it. So your leg falls out to the side. And then with your right hand, kick your left heel to your sit bone and reach around with your right hand to grab it. Getting a big stretch in your left quadricep and the front of your left hip flexor. Breathe in. Letting your body breathe through any discomfort. Sending your breath to the places of tension, tightness. Take one more breath in. And exhale. Lower your left leg back to the earth. Plant your hands, downward facing dog. Breathe in, reset. Exhale, let it go. Lift your left leg high, three-legged dog. Noticing the space between as you hug your knee into your nose. Pause in cheetah pose. Really press the earth away. Give yourself space to set your left foot down between your hands. Lower your right knee, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Sweep your arms up high. Square off your hips to the front of the mat. Knit your ribs together. And then maybe reach for that bind behind your low back. Left thumb on top this time if you've done it on both sides. Stretch your knuckles down to the earth. Open up your chest. Keep the bind or let it go. Tuck your right toes, flying crescent. Re-arrive. And inhale, one-legged Tadasana, rise up, lift. Eagle pose, wrap your right leg around your left. Take your arms to a T. Right arm under left this time. Again, keeping your right arm and right leg closest together in this pose. Glue your left foot to the earth. Press down to lift your chest up and out of your pelvis. Create a little more space across your shoulder blades. One more breath in. Breath out. Gently let this pose go. Kick your right heel into your sit bone. Dancer pose. Reach with your right hand to catch your right foot. Inhale your left arm up high. Exhale, kick your right foot into your hand. Gently tip forward. Making a slow journey to arrive. Breathe in. Breathe out. Gently let your right foot go. Keep it lifted. Exhale, OMG. Step your right foot to the left side of your mat. Curtsy your legs. Let your chest fall over your left leg and sweep your arms back. Breathe in. Twisted OMG. As you exhale, plant your right hand down. Sweep your left arm up high. Breathe in. Easy twist on your exhale. Step your right foot to the back of your mat. Arrive, squeeze your inner thighs together. Create the twist from the middle of your spine. And inhale, rise up, open, twisted crescent. Keep hugging your thighs in, creating the twist from the middle of your back, stretching your arms out. Breathe in. Warrior two, breathe out. Peaceful warrior, dance back. Cartwheel your hands down, lizard lunge, heel toe your left foot out. Set up your foundation and then lower your right knee to the earth. Again, roll onto the blade of your left foot. Let your left knee fall out a little bit wide. Kick your right heel into your sit bone. With your left hand, reach around for your left foot, for your right foot. Left hand, right foot. Feeling the deep stretch in your right hip flexor and all down the front of your right thigh. Letting your breath guide you through the discomfort, the deep stretch. Letting it soften your journey. Breathe in. Gently let it go as you exhale. Bring your left hand back to the earth. Tuck your right toes. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe in. And breathe out. Come up high onto your toes. If you're working on your jump through, here's your chance. Hop forward and come all the way down to a seat. And then lower all the way down onto your back, setting up for bridge pose once more. Pulling your heels in close to your sits bones, rooting your feet onto the earth. Take your hands down by your sides and on an inhale, lift your hips. Snuggle your shoulders up underneath your body. Maybe reach to grab your ankles or your hands, coming into a bind underneath your low back and pressing your knuckles toward your feet. Wherever you are, lift your hips a little higher. Send your chest closer to your chin. Feeling your front body opening. Breathing here. Inhale.
Exhale, lowering all the way back down onto the earth. Resist the urge to hug your knees into your chest. We're working toward Urdhva Dhanurasana, wheel pose. So we'll move to that now. This bridge option is always here for you, but if you're feeling it and want to get a little energized with a bigger back bend, then I'll cue you through wheel. Your feet are set up the exact same with your heels in close to your sits bones. Think of having something in between your legs, squeezing your inner thighs toward one another. And take your hands back by your ears, fingertips facing your shoulders. You'll root your hands and feet into the earth, knit your ribs together. Take a breath in to prepare. And exhale. On an inhale, press your feet and hands into the earth. Lift your hips, maybe bring the crown of your head to the earth first, giving yourself a moment to pause in between, and then press into your hands, into your feet. Lift your hips way high. Keep squeezing your inner thighs together. Knit your ribs toward one another. Take a few breaths here. Give yourself the full benefit of the posture by taking 2 or 3 deep breaths. And when you're ready, slowly bending your arms, lowering the back of your head, then your shoulders, then one vertebrae at a time. We'll do one more back bend, so still resist the urge to hug your knees in. You can windshield wiper, but let the space that we've created stay. Relief is coming. One more back bend, bridge pose option for you, or wheel pose. Take your hands back behind your ears once more. And on an inhale, rise up. Squeeze your thighs toward one another. Feel your chest opening up, pressing it toward your hands. One more breath in. And exhale, lower slowly to the earth. Supta Baddha Konasana. You can windshield wiper your legs first if you'd like, but just as we started, bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees fall out wide. Give your back a moment to reset in neutral before hugging in the opposite way. And take a cleansing breath in through your nose. Notice the space at the top as you feel full. And then exhale, let it go. Take your hands to the outside of your legs, close your knees, hug them in. Sweet relief. Maybe gently rock from side to side, massage out your low back. And then rock and roll the length of your spine as we did to start. Coming back into downward facing dog. You can take a vinyasa if you'd like, or just make your way straight there. From your downward facing dog, inhale your right leg high, bend your knees, stack open your hips. Maybe draw a big circle with your knee one way and then the other. And square off your hips, down, three-legged dog, breathe in. Setting up for your half pigeon pose. As you exhale, pull your right knee to your right wrist, your right ankle to your left wrist. Working to get parallel, your shin to the top of your mat. Open up your chest, breathe in. And then you can crawl your hands forward as you exhale, lowering your forearms down to the earth. Give yourself a moment to fidget around and then settle into stillness. Let your awareness be on your breath in this posture. Letting your breath guide you deeper as time settles.
Give yourself the gift of 2 more breaths here. And last one, breathe in. Exhale. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders, slowly taking your journey to lift your chest. Pause here at the top. And tuck your left toes. Lift your right leg back up high. 3-legged dog. You can bend your knee. Maybe do some circles once more. Option to flip your dog here by letting your right foot get heavy, coming down to the ground on your left side, getting light in your right hand and reaching it forward. Breathe. Come back to downward facing dog as you exhale, re-arrive. And lift your left leg high for 3-legged dog. Bend your knee, stack your hips open. Draw a big circle with your knee one way, moving slow, noticing the space. And then exhale and draw the circle the other way. Breathe in, 3-legged dog, square off your hips. Exhale, pigeon pose. Draw your left knee to your left wrist, your left ankle to your right wrist. Setting up your foundation here, opening up your chest as you inhale. And crawl your hands forward, coming down onto your forearms if that suits your body. Give yourself the space to settle in. Beginning to slow down your breathing. And taking note of where your thoughts go when your body comes into stillness. Letting each of your inhales create a little more space in your places of tension. And let each exhale sink you deeper into the posture. Take one more breath in. And exhale as you are. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders, moving slowly and methodically. Lift your chest up. Gaze goes to the sky. Plant your hands, tuck your right toes, lift your left leg back up to 3-legged dog. Maybe doing a couple more circles. Or flipping your dog by letting your left foot get heavy all the way to the ground on your right side. Breathe in, stretch your left arm forward. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale, let it go. Come up high onto your toes. Step or hop to the top of your mat, just long enough to come down to a seat. And then come all the way down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest when you get there. Give yourself a big squeeze. Your right knee hugged in, let your left leg go long on your mat. And on your next exhale, twist, bringing your right knee over to your left side. Your right arm can come out to a T, and maybe extend your gaze over your right shoulder. Work to seal your right shoulder to the ground, and let gravity do the rest. Take one more full sip of air in. And breathe out. Draw your body back through center. Apanasana, hug both knees in. And then let your right leg go long on your mat. Hug your left knee in. Exhale, take a twist, pulling your left knee over to your right side.
Stretch your left arm out to a T and gaze over your left shoulder. Take one more breath in. Exhale. Come back through center. Hug your knees into your chest once more. Apanasana, wind relieving pose. Happy baby. Bend your knees in toward your armpits. Reach for your ankles or the outer blades of your feet, catching them with your hands. Work to keep your whole back on the ground from your sacrum all the way to the back of your head. Maybe take gentle movements side to side or stretch one leg out and then the other. And then hug both knees in one last time. Setting up for your Shavasana, extend your legs long on your mat. Let your arms fall down by your sides. Take a deep breath in. Open up your mouth, exhale. Close your eyes, release any tension in your muscles. Give yourself this time to just rest and be still. Shavasana. Let your focus settle on the space between your inhales and your exhales. The space between no longer and not yet. The space between your starting point and the destination. Your world can come alive in these seemingly empty places. It's where you can notice the flowers and the trees and the birds and the art and all the colors of the world. This space where you can pause to reflect, make conscious choices, and become more aware. Let the space between the big moments of your life inspire you and guide you through your journey. Take a deep breath in through your nose, fill with air. Open up your mouth, sigh out. Let your prana, your life-giving energy, come back into your body through your breath. And as your breath radiates out into your limbs, and you can feel it in your toes and fingers, begin to gently wiggle them, wake them up. Let those small movements grow larger little by little, noticing the cracks, the kinks, the space. And when you're ready, take a full body stretch with your arms overhead. Breathe in, expand, get long. Hug your knees back into your chest as you exhale. And roll onto either side, pausing in fetal position. The position of rebirth that reminds you that every moment and every breath is a chance for you to begin again. Gently, slowly press yourself to a seat. When you get there, sweep your arms up overhead. Connect your palms at the top and exhale your thumbs down to your heart center. As many of you know, I always end my class with the sound of Om. I will continue to do that virtually. This sound connects us to ourselves, to each other, and to the world around us. If you're out there, join in with me. Breathe in.
Breathe out. Inhale for the sound of Om. Mindfully lift your thumbs to your third eye center, the space in between and just above your eyebrows, where your physical body meets your divine being. And together, in respect for one another and the practice, we'll bow forward.
Namaste.